Okay, so the Houston Texans elect to trade out of the first round yesterday. They wait until today and then decide to get Jayden Higgins, a wide receiver who, quite frankly, I really liked. I know he's coming out of a bit of a smaller school with maybe not quite the level of competition that maybe you would love to see him go against for a large part, but ultimately, the traits and the skills that he has, we're going to see it in a second when we get into the film, but it's impressive stuff. Now, a lot of people might sit here and say, shouldn't the Texans go offensive line here? We keep talking about this Texans offensive line not being great. We thought they might go offensive line. They elect not to here. But ultimately, the question is, maybe they trust the guys that they have in this room more than a lot of people realize, and there are some players that have played well in this offensive line group. And B, I just think they got a better player than if they went offensive line here. I think Higgins, again, I'm very high on him. I had a very high grade on him. If you're not someone of that, I still think that you would agree that he's a very good player and worth an early second round pick. And again, people will always have different opinions, so someone won't agree, but most people would agree with that. And so why not just get the better player instead of reaching on an offensive lineman? The receiving core is interesting for the Texans because, on paper, you have Tank Dell, but I guess how healthy is he? Hopefully he comes back and is fine, but there is that question there. Nico Collins is awesome, although he also did miss some time last year, so you hope you get 1,000 snaps out of him, but we'll see. You also have, a bunch of guys who could be good. Christian Kirk, who they traded for, John Mechie, Xavier Hutchinson, Justin Watson, but they wanted another receiver. I don't think this was their biggest need, but honestly, getting another, outside receiver to pair with Nico Collins could be great for CJ Stroud, and that is a way you can protect CJ Stroud. Having guys where he can, throw the ball quickly to, that helps protect the quarterback. That's a real thing where better receiving cores mean less sacks. So hopefully that can help as well. But that's what I think about the fit and the team. Let's get into now why I'm so high on this player in general. I want to start off with a play like this because, ultimately for these wide receivers, right, there's usually the top 3 or 4 guys that people just think can do everything. And then there's kind of the receivers where, you get to round 2 and round 3 is usually where these types of receivers are projected. And usually of those players, very few can do what you're going to see on the screen on this play. A go route and a one-on-one matchup on the outside. It's often the most important thing for a receiver to be able to win at. And, let's see how Higgins does. So, quarterback is going to take the snap. Higgins is going to go for outside leverage right here. And again, it's not like he's doing anything too fancy, really. I mean, he's, one thing that you definitely have to pay attention to is because of his just size, the fact that he's able to run this quickly to get the corner to essentially have to play the receiver and not be able to play the ball because Higgins is so fast, that's definitely an inherent advantage. And because of this, receiver can't play, corner can't play the ball, receiver can. Higgins is going to be able to make that grab. At the end of the day, when you're 6'4", usually for a corner, you kind of have to have all hands on deck trying to defend a contested catch. But when he can run by you, it's really just difficult to, and quite frankly impossible to cover, which is why someone like him can be so successful. This plays another example of what I'm talking about, where you definitely have to wonder how much of a red zone threat Higgins can be, because you have a one-on-one matchup right here. Well, when the receiver takes a snap, when the quarterback takes a snap, you see right here, Higgins showing some good route running. And that's one thing that I do think that you have to look at with Higgins is the route running and how he does the little things. Because there's so many receivers that I would say, are big, tall guys who are also pretty quick. And in college, that's kind of just all they rely on. Higgins does do the little things as well, right? Right here, not selling what he's doing. And then he cuts well enough that he's able to clear out a window, jumps for a ball he probably didn't have to, don't need to do that. But ultimately, again, kind of boxing out the player he's going up against and being able to win that way. Like this one's another example. Again, this is a one-on-one matchup. Well, okay, let's see what happens. Higgins is going to start this play. You see him, again, kind of faking as though maybe he's going to be going more towards the bottom of the screen. We know that's not what's happening. He's running a go route here. And then watch how he's able to, again, kind of that stop and starting motion. He just gets so much space. That's really footwork more than anything. And again, for 6'4" guys, I mean, usually the way it works is the shorter you are, you're closer to the ground, so you can kind of take more steps reps and have better footwork, the taller you are, it's just more difficult. You have longer strides. It's harder to be quite as nimble, but he definitely moves really well for a 6'4" guy. And that also creates situations like this where you have, look at how far off that defender is playing. He's just on the goal line right here. So, okay, well, that should at least make it easy to defend a touchdown, right? Well, when this play begins, again, you see Higgins starts off as though he's just running straight up. And he's just running straight up. That's just what he's doing, running right forward. But you can kind of see now as I paused it, he's about to cut over the middle. And once he does, the defender just can't react in time. Higgins is able to make the grab and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Again, he can do everything. He's not just a deep threat, but the fact that he is a deep threat is what sets everything up. And this is why I've made some Mike Evans comparisons with him, because it's similar, right? Evans has that ability to run by you, and, that's something you have to worry about. And because he has that, it just opens up the door for him to essentially do whatever he wants underneath. But also something like this, again, I want to bring up sort of his, the other routes he can run. So like this, again, one-on-one matchup, you're going to see that when the quarterback takes a snap, again, for Higgins, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but not giving away what he's doing. Starting it off as though he's, just going straight up, not letting it be clear to the defender where he could be cutting, and then watch how well he cuts. Again, it's just really smooth, gets open, and gets into the end zone for a touchdown right there. Again, it's just like okay, listen, are there players who cut a little bit better than him? Sure, but none of those guys are even close to 6'4", and to be able to move the way he does at the height that he has, that is definitely impressive. And also he can do things like this, where, okay, you see where he is on this play, and again, some of these plays I'm not breaking down because I don't need to get into too much detail. Like for this one, you're going to see that, quarterback takes a snap, just quickly flips it to him because, that's all you have to do really right here. He's open. It's, simple enough. The defender's playing pretty far off. It was a 2nd and 1. So, okay, let's at least pick up the first down right here. But also watch how he makes the grab and then jukes out the defender and is able to just, go a lot further. So again, he has every box, essentially. There's no issue with his game. He can move really well. He's tall, he's fast, and he can make contested catches. Ultimately, he does feel like a player that just is going to work, and I think has been massively undervalued in this whole evaluation process. I think he's a very good player, and I could easily see him having a very successful NFL career. But ultimately, that's what I think about all of this. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.